Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining today. This is webinar number 26 in a series of webinars for small business navigating the impacts of COVID-19. I'm Barbara Coffey, Director of Economic Initiatives for the City of Tucson. Today, we'll hear from our partners at Local First Arizona and Hownd as they share some great programs to help our local merchants maximize the holiday shopping season. As always, we will take your questions as we go, so feel free to enter your questions in the chat box or the Q&A. We'll get to as many of those as possible in our time together this afternoon. We will keep all participants muted since we have a large number of attendees, but we will record the session and make it available for everyone tomorrow. You can find links to all previous webinars at connecttucson.com, and typically find this one there by tomorrow afternoon. So let's get started. First up, Michael Peel, the Statewide Sustainability Director for Local First Arizona Foundation. Mike is a native Tucsonan and has more than 15 years of experience in sustainability program development, local business, and nonprofit support services, with a focus on sustainability planning and project implementation and grant writing and research. Along with Mike is Thomas Barr, Executive Director for Local First Arizona, the largest coalition of local businesses in North America, where he advocates for a strong local business community that contributes to building vibrancy, equity, and prosperity across the state. Thomas is a proud Arizona native and graduate of Arizona State University. Ashley LaRussa founded Roove Events in 2019. She's a repeat visitor with us as well. She has an event management company with a primary focus on supporting the growth of organizations and community leaders that foster equity, diversity, and inclusion initiatives. Ashley is currently working on the Black Friday Project, an accessible directory of Black businesses in Arizona. So far, she has built a website, app, and an online event for Black Friday. She serves on several local boards, including the Local First Arizona Steering Committee. She's a returning guest, as I mentioned. Welcome, Ashley. Welcome, Mike, and welcome, Thomas. I'm glad to have you all. We'll start with you today, and I'll turn it over to you, Thomas. I understand you are going to lead us off. So with that, welcome.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here so that we have something to look at rather than just me. Super excited to be sharing with all of you today. I'm going to kick us off, and then I'm actually going to hand it over to Ashley to share a bit about what she's doing, and then Mike will wrap us up to give you some ideas about different things that we're going to be working on in the future. But for those of you that don't know Local First Arizona, as Barbara mentioned, we're a statewide organization providing assistance and a voice for Arizona small businesses. We represent over 400 businesses right in Tucson. So all of your great locally owned businesses that you love to support, we're working right there with them. We've been around for about 18 years. And over the last 6 months, we've really elevated our focus to make sure that we are being as helpful as possible to the small businesses across Arizona that have needed so much guidance and support and advocacy through these really, really challenging times. And so today I wanted to talk to you about one of those ways that we're looking to help small businesses as we look into the future. As all of you on the call could imagine and have experienced, it's been really hard to predict what's coming next. And so we've tried to be that agent for you as often as we possibly can. And one of the things I'm going to talk to you about today is going to be one of those things we predicted about 4 months ago that is going to be brought to life here very soon. And so just a quick snapshot of some of the work we do at Local First Arizona. A lot of the people that know us for our buy local work, which is why we started. Like I said, we represent 3,200 businesses across the state. But we also do a lot of work in different areas. We have our Fuerza Local program that also takes place in Tucson, where we have resources provided for Spanish-speaking entrepreneurs. And then Mike, who's going to talk to you in a minute, also leads our sustainability programming. Some of our most proud work through the Scale Up program and Green Leaders program, which is was incepted in Tucson and being taken statewide now. So we're really proud to be able to showcase Tucson as leaders in the sustainability space. So I won't go through all of these, but this is just a quick snapshot of some of the work that we do. And this is a look at how we are seeing the Arizona economy needing attention as we move into the future. You know, this pandemic hit us all out of nowhere. And what we've had to do at Local First is to think through what are some of the ways that we as a community can work together and collaborate to get us to a place where we are even stronger than before the pandemic started. So over the last 3 months, we've viewed the work that we've needed to do with small businesses as triage. You know, it's at times a lot of panic, uncertainty, not knowing if there would be funding, not knowing what would be available to us. And we positioned ourselves to help small businesses through all of that, as many as we possibly could. So connecting you to resources, to an accountant if you need to talk to one, helping you get apply for emergency disaster loan coverage, a PPP loan, whatever it is, really just helping everyone get settled as much as we possibly could so that we could look to recovery. And recovery is one piece that I want to talk to you about today through the program I'm about to show you. But really we have our eye on resiliency. As we rebuild the economy and we look to building an even stronger economy coming out of this, we want small businesses to be the center of that. We need small businesses to be the center of that. If we are going to build a resilient community, we have to have a strong small business, local business infrastructure. So one of the things that we did over the last 6 months was we tried, as I mentioned, we tried to be the best predictors as possible of what's coming next. Sometimes things would change by the hour, right? Things would change by the day or the week. They'd be completely different. And so we did a lot of work assessing, looking across the country, and coming up with ideas for what we thought small businesses were actually going to need come November. And one of the things that we noticed was that in March was the biggest spike in online shopping that had ever happened on the internet. And that's mostly because a lot of people moved to work from home. And so we talked a little bit about it and said, you know, sometimes when things like that happen really quickly, they might revert back. But there's a lot of people that will hang on to the habits that they picked up through those quick changes. And so we said, well, looking to the holidays and beyond, if small businesses don't have a proper online infrastructure to sell their goods, then they're going to be kind of left behind as people look to shop on Amazon and larger companies. So what we're excited to announce to you today, that is going to be made available very soon, is a new website called Shop Arizona, where we are providing a marketplace for Arizona small businesses to sell their products, gift cards, and experiences to Arizonans living throughout the entire state. So we are recruiting businesses right now. We've got some already set up and ready to go. And this is going to be the best of the best. Any business that's a small business in Arizona, a locally owned business, can apply to be on the site. And you can set up a small shop of 10 items. And they can be any items that maybe you're looking to introduce to the community or sell at a certain time of the year. And then you also have your own mini shop on the site. So you can tell a little bit about your story. You can lead people to your own website. You can contain your information in case people are interested in shopping more from you. The whole idea is that we want to elevate and elevate more small businesses to sell their products online and to grow their audiences to spend more dollars with you. So by going to the Shop Arizona website, you'll see the businesses on there right now are featuring just a select few items, which is what we're encouraging. We don't want you to put everything on there. We want you to just put the top products that you'd be interested in getting out into the community. And the really cool thing is that Local First Arizona is not taking anything from the businesses that sell on this site. So this is not set up so that we can make a profit. This is literally set up so that small businesses can sell their products. If you go onto the site, you will keep 100% of the sales. They will go right to you. We really just want to raise awareness about the importance to shop at locally owned businesses and make it more accessible for people to support them. So if you'd like information about joining the site, you can just go to shop.localfirstaz.com and you can fill out an application. We just want to vet and make sure that you're an Arizona business and that you're part of the community. And then our team will reach out to you about next steps. And then we'll also have some training materials that we can send you on how to create great photos and great descriptions of your products. And Local First Arizona will be responsible for marketing the entire site. So we have over 450,000 social media followers. We have blogs that are read 20,000 times a month. We're just going to blast this out there and get as many small businesses the attention that you deserve throughout the whole state. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to us after this webinar today. We'll obviously be available. And again, the website is shop.localfirstaz.com. But we're really excited to introduce that to the community and appreciate you having us here today. I'm now going to give it over to Ashley to talk about the even more incredible, amazing stuff that she's working on right now.
Thank you so much, Thomas, and truly honored that Local First Arizona has shared their time and space today during the webinar to speak a little bit about Black Friday. I'm a proud member of Local First Arizona and on the steering committee, and super proud to just be a part of an organization that is so local focused and helping all of our small business owners. So again, thank you both, Mike and Thomas. I'm going to go into our screen share here with the Black Friday project and some of our highlights, our updates, as well as our plans for the holidays. So just give me one moment here in the screen share. As I'm setting up the screen share, again, want to thank you all for the time today to be able to present. And just a little bit of background as I'm setting up the screen share about Black Friday. We did start this summer. The actual hashtag was created last March, and we really got ourselves into gear to be able to start to spotlight specifically Black-owned businesses in Arizona. And so with our holiday shopping, we have a lot of things lined up and really excited to present to you today. Firstly, a huge shout out to the Black Friday team. It would be impossible to be able to firstly curate these Black-owned businesses here in Arizona, as well as organize our website, our app, initiatives and events within our community. So a huge shout out to the team. A little bit about our build and the early phases of Black Friday. Just firstly looking at our timeline. Again, created in March, starting that first meeting in May, and then launching our first live Google Sheet that was searched over 1,000 times locally, as well as our website, app, and our live event in June. The website here, blacksfriday.com, I'm so proud of this first milestone. This was designed by Pinnacle Marketing Consulting. They're a Black-owned business here that works in digital media as well as websites. We found it really important to be able to find a home, especially for Black-owned businesses that may not have a website or may have had to release their website due to fees and maintenance. The buzz was out once we launched that website, and we found it very important that the next step would indeed be our app. And with the app in mind, we wanted to make sure to do outreach out into Phoenix and surrounding areas. So now we're able to build partnerships not only in Tucson, but also with our Black-owned businesses and partners in Phoenix. To name a few, Archwood Exchange, which is also a Local First Arizona member, was really crucial in building those early connections now with Phoenix Soul and Phoenix Local Organizing Committee. And so we're able to start these conversations on what we can do across Arizona. Now into our current timeline of resiliency. It's really important, as Thomas was saying earlier in our community, to keep a very resilient community. And with Black Friday, our goal was to make sure that not only were these businesses being spotlighted and highlighted, but also a part of the very fabric of this community. And so as we're now into our fall, we're looking at our newsletter and building partnerships. Through our newsletter, we're actually able to communicate up to 500 local Black-owned businesses in Arizona, telling them about upcoming events and initiatives. And I'm so proud to announce in this holiday shopping edition of this presentation, that we are now starting Black Friday collaborations starting on Black Friday. And so with that around the corner in November, our goals are to continue these numbers. Again, 500 plus businesses and growing. We're sourcing and finding and making sure that they are 51% owned by Black owners, as well as the 25,000 overall website visits we received. We now have just under 800 app downloads. And so with our reach out into Phoenix, we're hoping to meet that 1,000 mark of everyone having an accessible list right on their mobile Apple device to be able to search for these businesses. And super proud of all the community partnerships we're building as well. And now for some really exciting announcements with our holiday specials. So the Black Friday holiday shopping list. I've been working with a number of Black-owned businesses and collecting either their holiday menus or promotions that they're doing and starting between November and December. And so we're really excited to start this push of promos and pop-ups and partnerships. With our pop-ups in mind, I'm really excited on the growth of our community partnerships. Local First Arizona being one, most definitely, and happy to be a part of what's building in Shop Arizona, and also being able to hopefully showcase some of these Black-owned businesses on that site as well. We're also looking forward to our pop-up event opportunities with Why I Love Where I Live. And so we're now in very early building stages and planning on having a spot in the MSA Annex where those, again, who may not have a brick and mortar space may be able to showcase one or two of their products in a community collective shopping container at the MSA Annex. And so more news to come from Why I Love Where I Live and Cultivate in collaboration on Black Friday with Black Friday. Also, and gallery, local art gallery. We will be doing a pop-up with local artists and business owners, again, at a very safe distance and at capacity levels, keeping very small community interaction and reminder of our awareness of Black-owned businesses in Arizona. I want to thank you again for this opportunity to present our plans and how we're deciding to build in the holiday season. Also a reminder that our major goal is partnership, business to business partnerships that are aligning industries. And we know better, so we can do better. And that's community, that's Tucson. Thank you.
That's awesome.
We'll now pass it over to Mike.
Fantastic. And be sure to put all of those great contacts and websites and any kind of information in the chat room for everybody. That will be helpful, as I know that there's already some interest in all the things that you're sharing. This is exciting to hear. So, all right, Mike.
All right. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you for the amazing work you're doing, and so excited for the growth that you've already had in such a short period of time and where you're headed. And thanks for being a great partner with Local First Arizona. So I'm going to get my screen share going. And while I do that, I did want to mention that everyone should check out localfirstaz.com if you'd like more information about the programs that we have and the services that we have. We have the webinars that we're holding regularly across the board about topics that are needed to be covered right now in these times for support services for local businesses. We have also our COVID-19 resources and much more. So that's localfirstaz.com. I'll drop that link in there. And now I'm going to share a preview of an upcoming webinar that I'll be working with Barbara on about our sustainability programs. So I'm going to briefly go over just some of what else we have going on. I'm the statewide sustainability director for Local First Arizona. I'm based here in Tucson. I'm a native of Tucson, proud to be from here and back here. And I wanted to mention a few other resources available that we'll be covering at the next webinar around how to differentiate your business model and to ensure that as a local business in these very challenging times, you can attract more customers, you can engage your employees further in very meaningful ways that give back to the community, and also our cost-saving approaches to be helping the planet in this climate crisis that we're experiencing, and also be able to be short-term cost savings for your bottom line. And so we have a series of programs that we have developed over the last year. And this first one is our Southern Arizona Green Business Leaders Program. It's a certification program that provides resources for you to be able to learn about, evaluate, and adopt cost-saving sustainability practices through a very easy-to-use checklist. And this 65-point checklist is a way to get more promotion for your business, as well as individualized consulting and support from our team. And then we will provide a series of benefits for you for your leadership in the community and for sustainability. And the program is also available in Spanish. Here's a snapshot of one of our happy hours that we've been having, our virtual happy hours around different sustainability topics, since it covers such a wide range of approaches you can take. And that includes, beyond sustainability, resiliency strategies and diversity, equity, and inclusion strategies. And this particular one was on hydroponics. And so real range of diverse topics covered. So why get certified? Well, there's a lot of reasons, and briefly, it's being able to provide these benefits to the businesses involved around recognition and inclusion in the Green Business Directory, and the mention in local First Arizona blogs and social media posts, as well as much more. And you can see the more you do, the more you can get recognition through our blogs and our social media, and the certificate that you can proudly display as one of the green leaders as part of the newly formed Southern Arizona Green Business Alliance that we have launched this year. And we're excited to get more people involved in it, and to really get that recognition for this important work, and thinking about the future around what a business can do with your site, with your facility, and for the community at large. And then going beyond, there's the Scale Up program for deeper dive strategies to be employed for your business and your site. And so this is a comprehensive virtual 7-week workshop series on sustainable project planning. It's an award-winning program we've been running for years, and we've been able to shift it to be completely virtual for these times. And so it's all in one accessible package to go from the education to the project planning to the financing and implementation. And so with this program, we have a goal that we work with the businesses on for a year. As they initially launch their plan, they then work on a projected 20% reduction in energy use, water consumption, waste generation, and transportation emissions, as well as have a social component ensuring equity, resiliency, and communication. And I should note that all of these programs can help with the holidays too, because as you are thinking about how to define what you do to the customers at large out there, you can really emphasize ways to be sustainable during the holidays. There's a lot of ways to do that. It's actually a really easy way to get started with thinking about waste and recycling and much more. And then I wanted to wrap up here with our current cohort participants. We have some great work going on here, thanks to our team led by Clara Kaufman for Southern Arizona. She's our Southern Arizona Sustainability Program Manager, and we are now actually running this program statewide. So that's exciting too. And it started here in Tucson. So you can see the list of current and future participants, and we're building as we go. So I wanted to preview that, and we'll have a much longer webinar coming up because there's a lot to share, success stories across the board. And we're here to help you define the path forward in these very challenging times with a lot of unknowns. And we have a lot of services, as you can tell from today, to support you in that pathway forward.
That's awesome. I recognized a lot of our Tucson businesses on that list there that you showed, and that's exciting. I can't wait to hear some of the stories that come out of that. And hey, it's a gift for yourself, right? If you're the small business, and you can look at that Scale Up program as a gift for yourself, for your business, and a way to move forward into 2021, which I know we're all anticipating.
I like the way you framed that, Barbara. That sounds really good too. So yeah, we're here for more information to be shared, and I will be here for questions that might come up, and I'm going to drop the links in the chat.
Do that. That's great. I know there are questions for your team. I did see Ashley, you inspired a few folks, including Jane, who's on this webinar today. She's a regular with us and certainly an important part of the community. She wants to know about how she can partner with Black Fridays. Jane has the Main Gate Square area, so it might be an interesting connection to make. So maybe, Ashley, what would you say about, if people are interested in working with you, maybe helping to uncover more Black-owned businesses or opportunities to connect with Black-owned businesses? What do we need to do? What do we need to know?
You got it. Barbara, I will drop our email address, which is info@blacksfriday.com. Shoot us an email. We're directly hands-on, and we can talk about collaboration and partnership. Happy to.
Excellent. Perfect. Well, and the key there, and I know that, since we first chatted right before your event in June, I was thinking about, the conversation was fresh and we were talking about how do we keep that going? It's things like this. I'm really pleased to see that your organization and that your team is helping provide more ways for everyone to engage and that we can continue that effort. So it's exciting and exciting for all our local businesses. I'm thrilled with what Local First is doing as a team as well. And Thomas shared the website there for the Shop Arizona. So I think that is exciting. And I'm looking at questions. So again, if folks have questions, please feel free to put those in the Q&A or the chat, and I'll pepper those to our esteemed panelists today. So that is fantastic. All right, and so we'll keep rolling so that we can give you more to think about as you go into this season. Next up, Larry Fleischman, Vice President of Global Field Marketing for Hownd. Larry is a creative, customer-focused, and collaborative marketing leader. His work with Hownd started with rebranding the company almost 1 year ago to the day, and has since evolved to his new role creating local community coalitions and guiding the company's many relationships with its municipal and civic partners, including Tucson, City of Tucson, and Pima County. Larry helps create awareness of Hownd in the communities where the company has strategic partnerships so that local businesses can understand the benefits Hownd brings. He's also busy launching Hownd for the Holidays campaign, which you'll hear a little bit about this afternoon. And Larry lives in a 1926 house in Central Phoenix. That we won't hold against him. But he's chasing around his 5 kids and his 3 chickens when he's not on meetings like this one. That's Larry. But alongside Larry is Eric Kioski-Smith, Chief Growth Officer for Hownd. Eric is an entrepreneur, advisor, and self-professed conscious capitalist with more than 30 years of experience on both coasts and 2 continents, but now calls Arizona home. His experience includes 10 years of business development with fast growth software firms and even 2 of his own startups. He spent nearly 10 years with Intel in Silicon Valley in Europe and was fortunate to be part of the launch and advertising campaign for the Pentium processor in 7 languages in 11 countries. Eric is an avid fan of live music, local restaurants, and the outdoors, having just gotten into a brand new Jeep, apparently, to help fuel his outdoors habit. So welcome to both Eric and Larry. Thanks for joining again today. Also, repeat offenders, I'll just say repeat visitors of our show here on the Small Business Webinar Series. So thanks. Eric, Larry, pass it to you.
Sure, I'll give it a start. Eric's actually going to do most of the talking, and I like the reference to repeat visitors versus repeat offenders better. Thank you to Ashley and Thomas and Mike. We love working with you guys. We love what you're doing, and we love what we just heard this afternoon. You guys are up to some cool stuff. And look, we're all in this together. Hownd is part of that mix. Local First is on a mission. We're on a mission. You guys are actually kind of creating and have been very successful at creating a lot of momentum in what you're doing. And so we're just happy to be a part of it. So we're going to talk this morning about Hownd for the Holidays, but first just kind of a little bit of background, the relationship with Tucson, Barbara. I think we're a few months into it, 4 months into it right now by all measures. It's been super successful. We've got 115 of your Tucson-based merchants sign up, as you know. Created more than 2,200 transactions since the time we started the partnership, and that includes consumers, nearby consumers in Tucson buying things like buy nows and gift cards and support vouchers and value-added packages and promotional offers. So that's all good stuff. We decided a few weeks ago to kind of take this thing up a notch and create the Hownd for the Holidays campaign. And it's really an opportunity to bring a lot more consumer awareness and attention to the importance, especially during the holiday season, of shopping and saving locally and discovering great experiences from their local Tucson merchants. So on that note, I'm going to hand it over to Eric, and he'll walk you through how the program works. And we're both here to answer any questions for you if you have any.
Yeah, cool. Thank you, Larry. And I absolutely echo your comment about our colleagues on the line here. In fact, it was a year ago, October 15th, that we stood arm in arm with our friends at Local First at a brewery, of course, to launch Hownd, which had been 3 years in the making from a prior business, where we've learned by helping a couple thousand businesses what businesses wanted and don't want. And what we found, they don't want more software. They do want more customers, and they don't want to pay for it. So we launched Hownd and said, we can do that. So really appreciate the partnership that we've had with Local First. We're a legacy partner there. And then I got to say to folks, Tucson was the second city in the country to do the kind of relationship that we have. Barbara is a rock star in the industry. She's very humble about it, but literally her and a partner, John, out of Pima County, who both have sponsored us, they've even helped us help municipalities in the UK up at pretty early times to help educate the brothers and sisters around the world how we can all get through COVID. So greatly appreciate your work. You're out on the bleeding edge, and we all take a little lumps because of that, but we've learned a lot with Tucson, and as well as working with Local First as well. And Ashley, you saw my note, would love to connect with you quickly. I think for all of you who are listening from a small business perspective, these are all very, very complementary platforms. I encourage you to check each and every one of them out, and they're not mutually exclusive. If they work here, one of them may also work over there, and a third one may work down the road. So take a look at all of them. And the good news is the way all of the business models are, they're extremely easy to get into. So love the announcement, Thomas, about the shopping site. And my favorite store, not in Tucson, I hate to say, but in Phoenix, Practical Art. I go there every year to shop. This way I can order online. I love it. So I'm going to share my screen and just give a quickie update of who we are. And I'll also want to say hello to Jane at Main Gate Square. We have a number of her merchants and have met them actually even mask to mask 3 or 4 months ago. I'll just do a quick refresh of what Hownd is. I won't assume that everyone knows what we do, and then I'll jump into the Hownd for the holidays. And Larry, by all means, jump in. Bring my shared window to the front. Can you all see my window? Should say Hownd.
It is looking like it's trying to.
Okay.
And you may have to double click. It says, well, let's see, or no, how about make sure that you've selected on your side.
Yeah, let me try again. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
I just pulled it up and
We'll get there. Oh, now we've got your desktop, which looks like you're very busy. So
okay, I'll try that again. Sorry, because of my busy desktop, sometimes the presentations do disappear. So
you'll find it.
I only do this 27 times a day. You'd think I'd get it down.
We're all getting used to this. I thought of a great Halloween costume. I can't take credit for it. My husband thought of it, but you could go as the Zoom window, get you a little border and walk around, and you'll be a hit. How about that?
I'm looking right at my Hownd for the holidays. There we go. Do you see it now?
It's there.
There we go.
Way to go.
All right. Hownd, effortless foot traffic. Not effortless presentation, but effortless foot traffic. So we are just that. We provide effortless human beings to walk in the door and spend money at brick and mortar merchants. Really, the only two limitations we have is that we really are focused on brick and mortar, which is good news because they're the ones I think in the deepest water at the moment. We're here to help, but also in certain broad industries. Larry coined the term of fun, yum, and zen. So it makes it a little easier to remember, but fun is anything like a movie theater, a family entertainment center, might be a bowling alley, or a float house, anything where you go to have an experience. Yum is anything food-based, food and beverage, so restaurants, but also coffee shops and ice cream stores. And then Zen is anything health and beauty related. It could be everything from salons to barber shops to, well, we put car washes in there too because we needed a home for car washes, but fun, yum, and Zen. So if you're in that broad space of business and you have a brick and mortar facility, Hownd is here to try and help. So what we've done is the term Hownd for the holidays actually was coined, I think, last year, but funny enough, the city of Tempe said, we want to do a Hownd for the holidays program. So we're going to be doing this in the East Valley, but we also would love to do it in Tucson. Larry's going to cover some of the details as we get into this. But the Hownd is really obviously very likable, friendly creature. We want to bring him out in public. We're going to put a mask on him when we do. But the whole idea is to really get a focus on all of the activity that's taking place in purchasing that's starting already. Prime started in the last week with Amazon, and we need to bring money back to the community. So we're very aligned with Local First and Ashley in that way, in the sense that this is probably going to be the year that consumers finally get fed up with money leaving the community. And I think the telling tale on that was the Walmart, Home Depot, Amazon, all allowed to stay open and run full bore, while all of the local businesses are struggling, and struggling severely, many of them. So I think you're going to find a lot of consumer backlash on that. We're seeing it already. And the good news is you've already heard a couple presentations today that can help. We think we have a quick and simple way for you to access local money as well. So just as a quickie refresh, Hownd is actually a series of 7 different tools we pulled together in a platform. I'll just focus on the digital ones today, but we're great at helping you collect data on your website, which could be an email. 97% of the people who come to your website will leave with you not even knowing they were there. 3% will take an action. Why not get more of those 97% to at least say, I'd love to be on your list to perhaps be part of a holiday theme, or let me give you my birth date because I'd love to come and visit with friends and family for my birthday. As long as it's a polite ask and it's data that's not resold to other businesses, it's a very safe way to build your customer list today so it gets bigger and bigger and bigger over time. And then Hownd will use our own email service to market to those consumers about you and a single promotion every time they get an email. Again, we're very polite with consumers. We don't sell their data. They can opt out at any point in time, but we're finding that we do 2.5 million emails a day, very low opt-out rates, very low spam rates, and it costs $0 for the merchants to be part of this. The other thing we do is we take promotions. So our job is to deliver gift certificates or vouchers, we call them, buy now promotions and or coupons, digital coupons to consumers with the hopes that they take an action on them. They can do so, finding them also on your social media feed. We ask permission to tie into that. And then in addition, what we're most visible for is actually the MyHownd app on the right-hand side of my screen, myhownd.com. It's a simple app that allows you to find businesses in your area. And I think for Tucson, we have it set for 10 to 20 miles range, depending on where you are in the county and the city. And it also allows you to store anything you've grabbed. It might be a coupon or it might be a gift voucher that I've already purchased until you're ready to use them. And then finally, we just launched about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and we have to give, well, I'm showing the city of Mesa. The fact is, I think it was Barbara, was one of the instigators behind us doing a promotions page because she wanted to see all the promotions that were running in the city and John in the county. So we went ahead and have built this page, which is turning to be a really viable way to get the word out at the chamber level, at the city level, at even just a local person level, at a community level of all the promotions that are running in that area. Now you'll hear me say promotions and not discounts. Do people discount on Hownd? They do. Do we encourage it? Well, if that's your way of getting new business or existing customers back in the door, you certainly have the capability to do it. But we also love to talk about value-added promotions, and I'll touch on that in a second. Keep the money to yourself, and we're actually working on consumer messaging so consumers realize they are the lifeblood through Hownd of making your business profitable again. So let's focus on value-added versus discounting, and that's where we're extremely different from things such as Groupon. The other area where we're different is we're so merchant focused. If you buy something on the Hownd platform, all the net proceeds go to the business within 48 hours directly into their bank account. We don't touch their money. And I use the word net because there is a small transaction fee that credit card companies charge that we can't avoid, 2.9% plus 30 cents a transaction. The rest of it goes to the business. So, and this is a landing page. I'm just showing you this for context about Hownd for the holidays. We are as efficient and simple and quick a purchase as you will find. Even Amazon one click, when you use it, you click once, but that's if you set up your shipping portal. With us, it's less than 30 seconds on an app. As far as the MyHownd app, and or on a desktop. I can buy a voucher, I can grab a coupon, and I'm done. I put in my name, my email address, and my credit card info, and on I move. And we've actually sold the concept of support vouchers. These are for businesses that are closed, but consumers that still want to support them, over $3.5 million nationwide. And then within the app itself, or in any promotion people come to, there's a link for buy now or grab a coupon. And it's the only thing that's in the messaging we do is one action, one message, terms and conditions. And it's amazing how much more success we have at selling even your own stuff on your own website than you will, up to 6 times the conversion rate. Because that's all we do. We focus the message, we focus to the consumer. And at this point, you have spent no money with us. So as a small business, the only place where we take money from you is at a small fixed flat transaction fee at the end of the transaction. When I purchase something as a consumer and or I walk in and use a coupon. And the beauty of our relationship with the city of Tempe and all of Pima County is for the next year, they cover that small flat fixed fee too. So it's a real strong partnership, great for merchants, low risk and very little effort. I think Larry had mentioned it's about 5 minutes a week to actually help monitor what we do, but in the end, we run the software for you, so you don't have to learn yet another package. So as far as the Hownd for the holidays, really we're going to try and create citywide awareness. We put a little fun into the holidays. We're going to kick this off November 1st. There's some more details to follow. We're going to still work with Barbara and John to work those out. But really what we're looking for is as many businesses as possible to at least start to theme the promotion. So first off, join Hownd, hownd.com. We'll have a team who will call you on the phone or actually stop by and visit. They're properly masked with Hownd masks. Talk you through. It takes about 20, 25 minutes to set up. And after that, about 5 minutes a week to manage. And then what we're going to be looking for is themed promotions starting November 1st to really create a big groundswell of opportunity. And so consumers will get behind this. And, you know, as the saying goes, all rising tide floats all boats. Well, Hownd for the holidays hopefully will rise everybody's sleighs up as well. Sorry, bad pun there. And what we're going to do is put a little juice into this as well. There will be weekly giveaways of local merchants, products, and services, as well as a grand prize at the end of it. And while we haven't worked all the details on that yet, the merchants that we'll be soliciting will probably have those prepaid for. So it's not money coming out of their pocket. And on top of that, they will get extra sponsorship awareness throughout the city as we promote this over the next 8 weeks, starting November 1st. We'll also do a lot of social media work, definitely a lot of press activity. We think it's going to be a very useful campaign. And while we're a little different than Local First, they're absolutely focused on, and similar to Ashley, a certain ownership status. We do extend a little bit beyond that. For example, franchisees are welcome. Most franchisees are locally owned, and the money stays in the environment, maybe not quite as high velocity as a true local owned merchant, but we do allow them all and welcome them all to come in and join the program as well. And there'll be a ton of activity happening on that's pretty effective and cost effective to get the word out. We've got, I mentioned the promo pages. We're going to have those redesigned to reflect the holidays, and I'll just show you what those look like in a second. And then the URL is already set up, howndfortheholidays.com. And we're going to focus here on Tucson. We're also recognizing there's some statewide initiatives happening. So for folks up in certainly East Valley, in Phoenix, in Kingman, and the North counties, we'll also have promotions running for them. So if a consumer has a grandmother sitting up in Sholo and they want to buy a gift voucher for grandma in Sholo, they'll be able to log on and find Hownd for the Holidays promotions there as well and purchase it and deliver it directly without having to honestly leave their phone or their desktop. So we're going to do some cross-state merchandising as well. We're also going to encourage multiple promotions. You'll hear me mention gift vouchers and gift cards time and time again. We're a quick, simple way to get them started. You don't have to be set up anything other than on Hownd to sell them and give them and receive the proceeds from them, most importantly, but also run coupons. Get people who are feel safe and are willing to do so to come back into your store, because they will spend far more than the coupon voucher will say. So we really want to encourage multiple promotions that are running. And as an example, this will not be the finished product, but these promotion pages are pretty powerful. They can be filtered by food and drink, things to do, health and beauty, other services. I can type in a specific business name if I'm looking for a promotion. We're a little cautious on this. We don't want to make it feel like I'm just shopping for the best discount. Again, I mentioned earlier, we don't use that term. We don't want to make it too Groupon-like, but the flip side is we're also going to be heavy in the messaging to the consumers. Now's the time to act. We know you're going to be spending money for the holidays, spend it local. And here's a good place to start. It won't be the only place you can buy, but it'll be a simple, fast way to find out who's doing what to whom. And hopefully you can partake from the local merchants. Larry, I'm certain I'm missing some core points on here. Anything that stands out at the moment?
No, I think you covered everything. Thanks, Eric. I'm going to drop a link in the chat to the landing page that all of you who own businesses or operate businesses in Tucson who want to learn more about the program and Tucson's generous sponsorship of the results delivered pricing fee. So it is virtually zero risk. It's no cost except for those transaction fees, those small transaction fees that Eric mentioned. And that will last for a while. We're expecting that to last about a year. So there's really no reason not to get involved. So I'll drop the link to the landing page now where you can learn more and sign up or request more information from Eric or myself or anybody at Hownd for that matter.
There's more coming to this. One of the part of the stretch goal we have is to try and do an elf on the shelf takeoff, where it's in fact a dog in the store, where we may be placing small and large examples of the we just call them the dog, Hownd, in various merchants to really encourage where it's safe to do so and when it's safe for the consumer to do so, to stop by and visit the stores. And if they log the fact that they've been there, they'll get a special award put into the list of potential winners for the giveaways that we're going to be doing on a weekly basis. So Barbara will follow up with, on that with you shortly. And also, quite frankly, the back of the dog is going to have instructions. So, you know, one of the simple challenges we found is that not every business educates all their employees how to use the Hownd zero touch redemption tool. So if it's in the app and they walk in to show their coupon, no one needs to touch it except the consumer. We'll probably put some instructions on the back of the dog, so they'll have that sitting up at the point of sale register, and hopefully we'll get some photos and fun stuff done and some social media sharing as well. So we're going to make it fun, lighthearted, but in the end, this is also serious business. For those of you merchants on this, we're in it with you. We're all bending over backwards, every single person on this line, and then you know I know the entire city of Tucson as well as Pima County. There's 80 hours a week being done by these people to try and make this a successful holiday for yourself. And most importantly, the money is going to be spent. There's no reason for it to go to Amazon. Let's keep it local.
And it's not just a dog, it's a hound dog. So perfect. So this is exciting. I wondered if you might be able to share, you know, some of the merchants that have been on the platform, have been using Hownd and offering promotions via Hownd. You know, what are those that are doing it and doing it well? Are there some good examples or some good success stories or some things that a merchant might want to consider, you know, when offering a promotion or a buy now opportunity?
You know, that's a great question that I will not be as fully prepared to answer in too much detail, except we have the rock stars of the company. We have 3 of them. They're called the engagement team. They will, the first 30 days you come on board as a Hownd merchant, and if you're a merchant on board and haven't received this yet, please send Larry or I an email and we'll get you locked up with them. They do 2 things. One, they first talk about your goals as a business. And then we align the various tools Hownd have. There's 7 of them. I didn't talk about our Wi-Fi or our TV, my TV network yet. But we say, what are the things you're trying to accomplish? And let's start there. And then they basically give consulting. And these are people who see about 10,000 promotions a week nationwide. They know what works best. But definitely buy one, get one frees. You know, the free dessert always works for folks. A support voucher, and I'll give credit, a lot of the restaurants that I frequent, the Foxes and the Postinos of the world, I love Postinos, 2 local success stories. They do $100 gift vouchers and get an additional 20 for yourself. I love those kind of programs. I'm a sucker for those every single year. So if you're going to do a gift voucher, it's a way for you to not degrade your brand, if you will, then, and yet at the same time, you're getting it to somebody who's going to gift it, and then the same person will then come in and use it as well. So I love those. I know Caruso's, I believe the stained glass window store on 4th Avenue, The first day they launched, I think they had $750 in support vouchers and gift vouchers purchased. I mean, who knew that was going to work? Larry, do you have other ones off the top of your head?
Sorry, was on mute. No, those are the two that I would have mentioned. There are others, and Eric, I would be happy to share some metrics and some other success stories with you if you'd like to know more after the webinar.
I think it's fantastic because a couple of you have said this already, that you can't have too many, right? You're a business, you're trying to get your business in as many locations as possible to raise awareness and visibility so that you can turn that into sales. So to utilize all these platforms is really important. And I think that's what you're finding, is that there are a variety of venues that, you know, Local First has shared, Ashley shared about Black Friday, Hownd has things, and I even believe that Simon Fine is on our webinar today listening in with True Local. And so you've heard about all of these opportunities, and I saw in one of the slides I think it's Thomas's presentation where Pop Cycle was listed there. I know that they are excited to jump on a variety of platforms and take advantage of the opportunities to grow their business. And so that's what it's all about. And I've got some questions here that looks like actually Larry's put some very good information in on how you can sign up for Hownd and learn more about the promotions and Hownd for the holidays. So definitely take a look. That's in the chat room. The links are there. And then I think Nardia had asked again for the Shop Arizona information. I put that website back in as well. So that's fantastic. If you had to think about it, what do people, given what we've been through over the last few months in this pandemic, what is it, and this can be an open question to all of you, and someone can jump in first, but what is it that a business needs to be thinking about right now when they are trying to separate or distinguish themselves from many of the retail giants that, we just had Prime Day, right? A few days ago. I'm seeing Costco has online sales. I get their emails, and it makes you think that it's a one-time only event or something. And so we're bombarded by what I would say the retail giants, what they're doing with their messaging. How do we combat that? What do you tell a local business, a local merchant?
Well, definitely I would myself refer to Mike and Thomas on this, but I'll make my first point and then stop. But absolutely wear your heart on your sleeve. If you don't remind consumers how important Main Street is, how important 4th Avenue is, and how important it is to support your neighbors who happen to run the pizza joint down the street, you have to remind them. And people are listening to that message, I believe, better this year than ever. And hopefully, if you don't promote yourself that way, you won't get noticed. It's going to be a competitive environment out there. Stand up, raise your hand, let them know where you sit.
Great. Others?
I'm actually interested to hear what Ashley has to say. She's been working with so many unique businesses.
Well, thank you, Thomas. Truly, it's the story. A little bit what Eric is saying about your heart on your sleeve. Tucson and Arizona statewide is just really great about that local story. And I think, and that's what's going to carry you through when you're communicating about your brand and that relatability.
Mm-hmm. That's great. And when we think about telling the story, that's one of the things that I like about, Hownd, being able to increase your customer list. I'm sure, Mike, Thomas, and all the programs, when you're helping small business, you're telling them, ways to do that and strategies for that. So how do they use that, that list? How do they talk to their customers? What about the frequency? Is too much? What's the sweet spot for telling your story, for communicating with your customers? What do you think?
I think that it really depends on the business, but it really, you need to hone in on what delivering quality service is, and how to differentiate that service from what larger or non-local company might be doing. For example, let's say you're a local retail shop that sells a competitive item that somebody might be able to get from a large retailer. how is somebody potentially going an extra mile out of their way to shop with you going to be a better experience than if they were to go to a big box and walk through the lines and stand in lines and all those types of things. And so depending on what type of structure you have, it's all about delivering the type of service that you wouldn't get necessarily anywhere else.
I like that. And I think that's key. So it's telling your story, but it's differentiating yourself from the competition. And what is that localness that you provide so that we can appeal to the heartstrings of those who have really been through this pandemic. We've all been in it together. And now it's time to support each other. So I love that. Any final thoughts? Or call to action? I know we've got lots of good things that people need to follow up on. I think it's time to act, because I would say that the days are moving swiftly towards Thanksgiving. We want to be ready before then. So you saw a few things that are time sensitive. So I would suggest that merchants dig deep and find some more information. We'll certainly make it available to them as well on our other channels, the website and our small business hotline. So with that, I think I'll thank all of our great panelists today. As always, lots of great information and opportunities for folks. Thank you very much, each of you, for participating today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara.
Barbara.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Fantastic.
everybody.
So we'll be back on November 2nd. We're taking next week off, so it'll be Monday before Election Day, so go vote. We'll be back on that Monday at 3 p.m. with an update from our financial partners. Actually, we're putting together another program to help you look at and plan for the next year, as many of you are still looking for financial resources. So we'll talk about that. That will be our theme. So be sure to register when you see the email invite in your inbox. It's our goal to keep you connected to the resources you need to navigate this pandemic this year. You can call our City of Tucson Economic Initiative Small Business Hotline at 520-837-4100 and check connecttucson.com for those resources, or to sign up for our newsletter so you don't miss anything. All right. Thank you all. Have a great afternoon.